Call regular city council meeting Monday, May 4, 2015 to order. Clerk, call roll, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf.
Here.
Lukosius.
Here.
Perez.
Here.
Radke.
Here.
Mueller.
Here.
Sapienza. Mayor Harrell.
Here. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have any public comment?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's do the presentation that was going to happen on the second meeting and the first meeting. So, Alderman Perez, do you want to do the recognition for the Cub Scout Truth and other volunteers?
Sure. Does Erica go to the podium, Your Honor?
Sure.
Oh, this is a little different. Flip it around here so I can see everyone. Okay. It's tough being short, you know. I wish I was like that guy over there. That's a duck to come through the door. If I could have Unit Commissioner, District Service Champion, and Den Leader Michelle Speyer, Michelle's husband John, Assistant Cub Master Beth Volosnik, and District Scout Executive David Haddad, along with their Den pack, come to the front, please. You come over this way. Okay. And then you could sit there and then, you know, you would do a better job, I'm sure, actually. Right. Back in 2011, I started a volunteer group called Volunteers for the Beautification of Peru. On multiple weekends each year, we have picked up litter and planted flowers throughout our city. About 2 years ago, Michelle Speyer of the Peru Cub Scout Pack 3709 Bear Den contacted me asking if their pack could help. About 2 years ago, Michelle Speyer of Peru Cub Scout Pack 3709 Bear Den contacted me asking if they could help pick up trash over a few weekends. After about 2 years of helping out, they've done a tremendous job working with the city and doing all kinds of volunteer work for us. Between Michelle and her pack, along with Melissa Olivero and her scouts, they have put in multiple hours volunteering for the city. And we are not done yet, as we will be planting flowers this Saturday. These boys range in ages 8, 9, and 10-year-old. Just in the last 5 Saturdays, and including this coming Saturday, they will have nearly 110 hours of volunteer hours for the city. Although these boys and leaders don't do this for recognition, they deserve some and a round of applause for the team leadership and commitment they give to the city of Peru. Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to receive the regular minute meetings of April 20, 2015, placed on file?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf to receive regular meeting minutes April 20, 2015, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, do we have a motion to receive and place on file the canvass returns of the consolidated election held on April 7, 2015, as presented by the LaSalle County Clerk?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Lukosius, to receive the canvass returns and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, we have any public comment?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to make a statement if I could, please.
Sure.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank those who supported me through my term as alderman, especially my wife, who attended about every meeting over the last 4 years. I'd also like to thank those who stepped up in volunteering efforts over the past 4 years to help beautify Peru. I've teamed up with Peru Cub Scouts over the past few years, and as I'm reading through my notes, this is something that we already did, so we'll skip that part. But I'd just like to thank everyone, and I know we have Miss Majak back there, along with some of our other volunteers, Linda and Tom Reardon. They've done a great job on helping us out, and I'm thinking they're going to be there this weekend as we go forward to help beautify Peru and plant some flowers. I look back with not one single regret, as I've served not only my constituents, but the city as a whole, exactly the way I said I was going to back in 2011. Because of those kept promises, I've gained some great citywide support. I've been asked several times over the past few days how I felt coming into today's meeting. My answer is simple. When one door closes, there are always other doors waiting to be opened. So in about 5 more minutes, I will be opening the door to the 2017 mayoral race. Lastly, I wish Tom Payton the best of luck. The best advice I can give is to work closely with your administration, but don't work for them, work for the people of Peru. Thank you all.
Is there any other public comment? No public comment. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Perez for adjournment. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the meeting adjourned.
I, Becky Mueller,
Having been elected to the office of Alderman, City of Peru, County of LaSalle, State of Illinois. I, Becky, all right. This is why we do them one at a time. When I get to you guys, I'll be a lot better.
state your name.
I, Becky Mueller,
I, Becky Mueller,
having been elected to the office of Alderman
having been elected to the office of Alderman
in the City of Peru,
in the city of Peru,
County of LaSalle,
county of LaSalle,
State of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Alderman
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. And now I'd like to ask Tom Payton to come forward. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tom Payton,
I, Tom Payton,
having been elected to the office of Alderman
having been elected to the office of Alderman
in the City of Peru,
in the city of Peru,
County of LaSalle,
county of LaSalle,
State of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Alderman Waldorf. Come on around. Yep. Please raise your right hand. I, Dave Waldorf,
I, Dave Waldorf,
having been elected to the office of Alderman
having been elected to the office of Alderman
in the City of Peru,
in the city of Peru,
County of LaSalle,
county of LaSalle,
State of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Alderman Putoff? Come on forward a little bit so we can hear you. I, David P. Putoff,
David P. Putoff,
having been elected to the office of Alderman
having been elected to the office of Alderman
in the city of Peru,
in the city of Peru,
county of LaSalle,
county of LaSalle,
and state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
aforesaid, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you.
Okay, I'll call the regular city council meeting Monday, May 4, 2015 to order. This is our second meeting. We'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf. Here. Lukosius.
Here.
Radke.
Here.
Mueller.
Here.
Sapienza. Payton.
Here.
Mayor Harrell.
Here. Okay, do we have any public comment at this time? Anybody fill out cards?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we did the presentation in the first meeting. Do we have a motion to receive the reports and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
I have a motion from Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Payton, to receive the reports and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. I'm going to move around a little bit. I'm going to go to the reports of city attorney, ordinances, and resolutions. It's all about Northern White Sand and the annexation that we just went through the hearing, so we'll go ahead and start with that first.
Yeah, we have people here from Texas, Colorado, and Chicago. So the first, there was a hearing earlier this evening on the annexation agreement by and between the City of Northern White Sand, LLC, and Peru Land Acquisition 1, LLC. The first ordinance authorizing the execution of that annexation agreement. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Mayor and City Clerk and each of them, on behalf of the City, hereby authorized within their discretion to execute the annexation agreement. The Mayor and City Clerk and each of them, on behalf of the City, hereby authorized to execute any documents, perform any acts necessary to effect the fulfillment of all the terms and conditions of the annexation agreement. Ordinance shall be effective immediately from and after its passage by 2/3 of the corporate authorities and approval.
Do we have a motion to receive the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
And then there's an accompanying development agreement. Again, all those terms were addressed during the public hearing. Be it ordained, the Mayor and City Clerk and each of them, on behalf of the City, hereby authorized within their discretion to execute the development agreement. Mayor and City Clerk and each of them, on behalf of the City, hereby authorized to execute any documents, perform any acts necessary to effect and fulfill the terms and conditions of the development agreement. Ordinance shall be effective immediately.
Do you have a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Lukosius, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I think we discussed this at quite a bit at length at the last annexation hearing, and we've done it prior to that. If the city attorney could just highlight, there's a lot of people here tonight that haven't been there, if you could highlight the main points of that agreement, which is probably the most important detail of all of it.
Okay, the annexation agreements provides that the property will be annexed to the city in Zone M2 Manufacturing District. Northern White Sands will be granted a special use for the unloading, processing, loading, and hauling of sand. Peru Land Acquisition, which is a division of Omnitrax, the railroad, is granted a special use for loading, unloading, transloading, and hauling of freight commodities. There'll be no mining or drilling on the property. The city will extend water, sewer, and electric utilities to the site. The estimated cost of that is $486,000, but Northern White Sands and Peru Land Acquisition will pay the city $905,738.85, with $410,000 paid up front and the balance equally over the next 3 years. The $410,000 is the estimated cost for extending the water and the sewer. They are to grant all easements needed by the city and to reimburse the city for all legal, engineering, and other expenses incurred. The development agreement provides that Northern White Sands and Peru Land Acquisition will pay for the cost of acquisition of the right-of-way, utility relocations, and all expenses to construct a new Commerce Drive and to reconstruct Plank Road. That has an approximate estimated cost of $3 million. Additionally, they'll pay the city $15,000 a year for the continued maintenance of Plank Road. That figure will be increased by the Consumer Price Index annually over the course of the agreement. And to secure those obligations to the city, they've posted or will post a letter of credit from J.P. Morgan Chase Bank in favor of the city in the amount of $2.8 million. There'll be no outside storage of materials. They'll clean up the road and any premises debris. Peru Land Acquisition will pay for the cost of signalization of Peru Industrial Railroad at its intercrossing with Plank Road if required. Cities allow inspections of the property, reimburse the city for all expenses incurred. The advantages to the city will be an increase in real estate tax base, increase in employment, which is estimated between the two projects at 51 jobs initially, impact fees paid to the city of $905,000, improvement of Plank Road and Commerce Drive, $3 million. There'll be new water, sewer, and electric customers of the city, and with the extended utilities, they'll be available for future development in that area. Disadvantages to the city, there'll be increased blockages of Plank Road from railroad operations. Hopefully those will be kept to a minimum. And I might point out it's in their interest to keep that to a minimum, because every time one of their drivers is sitting waiting at the railroad, it costs them $85 an hour. So you'd have both trucks going north and south at that crossing. But the cost of a sand truck driver, benefits, fuel is about $85 an hour. Obviously there'll be increased traffic on Plank Road, and it'll be more territory for our fire and police to patrol. Actually, by far the biggest beneficiary of the project will be Hall High School, with an estimated minimum increase tax of about $200,000 a year. Dalzell Grade School, $167,000. Bureau County, $48,000 or so, and the estimated real estate taxes to the city annually from the project is $12,000. We think those are the low end of estimates because it's based on a project cost of $15 million. The actual total estimated project cost is over $30 million, but there's a question of how much would be assessed on the real estate because of the how much is assessed as real property and how much is going to be assessed as personal property because of the equipment involved in the operations.
Any other discussion? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Precocious.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
So we have an ordinance annexing the territory to the city. The total territory, and when you annex, you also include the contiguous roadways, and under the statute, railroad is irrelevant on the annexation, but the total area then becomes 250.334 acres. There are no electors residing within the territory. City has sent notices regarding the intention to all public bodies, both in LaSalle County and Bureau County. I think like 40 certifying mail notices went out. is required by statute, and they find that it's in the best interest of the territory to be annexed to the city. Now therefore be it ordained, the territory being indicated on an accurate map of the annexed territory attached to and incorporated herein is hereby annexed to the city of Peru, LaSalle County, Illinois. City clerk is hereby authorized and directed to record with the recorder of deeds of both Bureau County and LaSalle County, and to file with the county clerk and the election authority of both Bureau County and LaSalle County certified copy of this ordinance together with the accurate map of the territory attached hereto. Ordinance shall be effective immediately from and after its passage and approval.
Do you have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor.
Okay, motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf. Is there any discussion? A roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Mueller. Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Yeah, an ordinance granting certain waivers in the subdivision ordinance and granting variances be it ordained. The property is granted a waiver to allow the preliminary and final plats of the school subdivision to be approved on the same evening. And the requirement interior roadways be paved subject to the terms of the development agreement with the city and the developers. Properties granted variances concerning fencing in the front yard and the setbacks, all pursuant to the terms of the development agreement. All waivers and variances granted by this ordinance should be subject to the terms of the development agreement and annexation agreement between the city and Northern White Sands and Peru Land Acquisition 1. Those agreements shall supersede anything in this ordinance to the contrary.
Do you have a motion to approve as written and read?
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Payton, second by Alderman Lukosius to approve as written and read. Is there any discussion? A roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller. Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
An ordinance approving the preliminary plat for school subdivision. Be ordained preliminary plat for school subdivision. City of Peru is made by Kevin Heights, owner and professional land surveyor. Dated November 25, 2014, under by direction of the owners of the premises described and platted therein. B, and the same is hereby approved and accepted.
Do we have a motion to approve as written and read?
So,
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Radke to approve as written and read. Is there any discussion? A roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Mueller. Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
have an ordinance approving accepting the final plat, be ordained final plat for school subdivision, City of Peru, LaSalle County, Illinois. Copy which is attached here too, is made by Kevin Heights, Illinois registered land surveyor, dated November 25, 2014, under by direction of the owners of the premises described and platted therein. Be and the same is hereby approved and accepted.
I'll make a motion. We accept the ordinance as written and read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, no, we did it again. Okay. There's a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Waldorf. Is there any discussion? Call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Yeah, an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance, be it ordained. The City of Peru zoning ordinance shall be and is hereby amended to classify the property M2 manufacturing district. City clerk is authorized and directed to note the zoning reclassification made in this ordinance by the official zoning map of the city. Ordinance should be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
Second.
Okay, I'm going to go with Alderman Radke and Alderman Mueller. I heard two voices at the same time. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, or I'm sorry, have a roll call vote, quick call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
An ordinance granting a special use, be ordained, the property presently owned by Peru Land Acquisition 1 is granted special use to allow the construction and maintenance facility for the loading, hauling, and processing sand and similar aggregates, minerals, and all other rail freight with the equipment, buildings, and structures for storage, subject to the terms of the development agreement and annexation agreement with the city. Property presently owned by Northern White Sands is granted a special use to allow the construction, maintenance, and operation of a facility for loading, hauling, and processing of sand, subject to terms of development agreement and annexation agreement with the city. Ordinance shall be subject to the terms and conditions of the development agreement and annexation agreement between the city, and those agreements shall supersede anything in this ordinance. To the contrary, ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we accept the ordinance as written and read.
That was pretty good. Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Payton to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Welcome to Peru, gentlemen. Yeah.
Okay. Where do I want to pick up here? I'm going to move into new business for a second here. It says a committee appointments, but it's really just assignments. And under Finance and Safety Services, it'll be Alderman Putoff as chairman, Alderman Ferrari, Alderman Radke, and Alderman Payton, and Mayor Harrell under Finance and Safety Services. Under Public Services, it'll be Alderman Waldorf as chairman, Alderman Lukosius, Alderman Mueller, Alderman Sapienza, and Mayor Harrell. So that'll be the committee appointments. And now we'll try and go back on track here. We have a report from Economic Development, Bob Vickery. Could you do that at this time, Bob?
Very good. Thank you, Mayor Harrell. Members of the council, this is an important night for economic development in Peru. I have a major announcement to make that just got the press release today. I was to be joined by Ty Anderson, who is the service center manager for Old Dominion truck lines, freight lines, but he could not be with us. He says, gentlemen, my apologies, but I will be unable to attend tonight's city council meeting. Please see the attached press release on our behalf. Thank you for the warm reception to Peru, Ty Anderson. This is a press release from North Carolina entitled Old Dominion Freight Lines Purchases Property for a New Peru Service Center. Expansion to 85-door facility is due to company growth in Illinois and the region. Peru, Illinois, May 4th, 2015. Old Dominion Freight Line Incorporated has closed on a real estate transaction for property in Peru to open a new service center. The Peru Service Center will be an 85-door facility located at 22 Unitite Drive. It will replace the company's 38-door building in LaSalle, Illinois. We're excited about the new service center at a location that will enable Old Dominion to continue to provide premium services to our customers in Illinois and the surrounding region, said Ty Anderson, Service Center Manager for the current facility in LaSalle. Old Dominion has operated in Illinois since the early 1990s. The LaSalle Service Center began operations in 2005. The Peru facility is scheduled to open in mid-July following extensive renovations to the existing building on the property. More details on the new Peru Service Center will be released when the facility opens. Old Dominion, based in Thomasville, North Carolina, is a less-than-truckload LTL carrier that is over 80 years old. The company offers premium services at its 225 service centers, including domestic LTL shipping, global expedited, and household moving services. In the Midwest, Old Dominion Freight Line offers shipping in Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. Then it goes on to talk a lot about Old Dominion. I think I'll just pass on that part. I do have copies for the press, so you'll have you also have contact information. So if you want to expand on this in the morning, you can. But here's some things that they mentioned. Forbes magazine named Old Dominion as one of America's 100 most trustworthy companies for the third consecutive year and one of America's best employers. NASTRAC, which is the National Shippers Strategic Transportation Council, honored the company as a 2015 Carrier of the Year for the third consecutive year. Inbound Logistics named the company to its 75 Green Supply Chain Partners list for the fifth consecutive year. For the fifth consecutive year, Logistics Management honored Old Dominion with the Quest for Quality Award. Steel & Company ranked Old Dominion as the #1 national less-than-truckload carrier for the fifth consecutive year. And CIO Magazine recognized Old Dominion for IT excellence with the CIO 100 Award for the fifth consecutive year. So I think we have a really great company that's coming to Peru and will expand in the Illinois Valley. Any questions for any members of the council?
Excuse me, Bob. I might have missed it in the press release, but they're located where?
They're currently located at the east end of LaSalle, out towards the Utica, what we all call the Utica Four Corners. If you come back west a little bit and then go on the north side, there's a truck line there that's where they're currently located.
And this will be an expansion?
No, they are closing their facility in LaSalle and moving to Peru.
Okay. Well, good news. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you, Bob. Okay, committee reports, Finance Safety Services, Chairman Alderman Putoff.
Disbursements, Alderman Radke.
Yes, Your Honor. First thing we have is disbursements. Total disbursements for May 6, 2015 is $1,034,156.20. I move that we receive this disbursements, place it on file, and pay the bills in the usual manner.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Ferrari to receive the disbursements, place on file, and pay the bills in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
In addition, Your Honor, we have a motion tonight to authorize the mayor to sign the return for credit payments to the issuers of qualified bonds. That's a recovery zone bonds interest rebate. Before we go ahead with that, just a short explanation exactly what those are.
Yeah, so it's a rebate. It's a rebate for our 2010 bonds that we entered into, and the government subsidizes with a rebate every year. They decide how much they're giving back, and we go ahead and authorize that and accept it.
Motion has been made.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke to authorize the mayor to sign the return for credit payment to issuers of qualified bonds. And this is $24,300. Okay, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion we accept the approved volunteer ambulance service activity summary for March 2015.
A second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Putoff to receive the approved volunteer ambulance service activity report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
In addition, Your Honor, on the committee reports, we do want to discuss tonight the rollout for the fiscal year 2016 Route 6 Facade Improvement Program. Last year, the city granted $25,000 for downtown facade improvements. That's the storefront of the Route 6 business areas. About $18,485 were utilized from the last fiscal year. The council, committee, Route 6 Association would like to continue the progress and allocate again for this fiscal year another additional $25,000. Out of that $25,000 grant program, that's a 50-50 split of downtown businesses up to $2,500. This year, we'd also like to include the Peoria Street businesses and also add a banner program. The banner program would hope to add a little additional beautification to the downtown area, certainly add an appeal that we don't currently have. It has 55 potential posts, and as currently right now, Route 6 businesses will purchase 43 at $100 each. The idea is the city to pick up the remaining portion of the $250 banner. The city's portion will come out of the grant, with the total being no more than $8,250. The remaining $16,750 will be utilized for storefront renovations for this fiscal year. Route 6's businesses will have until May 10th to purchase the banners. After that, they will be open up for other Peru businesses. Again, the grant will be for new businesses. After January 1st, if that allocation or that dollar fee does not exceed the $16,750, it will be offered to those who utilized it last year. So it will become first come, first serve for this year. So that's kind of a little update on what the idea behind the banner program is. And before we do move ahead, we do need permission from the City Council to move ahead with it and answer any questions that we might have. Again, we put in great effort in our shopping districts in North Peru. Certainly we have in the past put in great effort in the downtown business to spruce up the area, make it more appealing, and this program just is a little bit of help to those basically are private businesses, one-owner businesses that are looking for some improvements, and again, the city is trying to assist them with that.
Is there any discussion on that?
Well, I think it's been a good program. I think the downtown looks a little better than it did before.
Well, it's important that we get some of our focus on the downtown area. I would make a motion that we accept the program.
Do you have a second? I have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Sapienza for the rollout of the fiscal year 16 Route 6 facade improvement program. Is there any further discussion?
You know, and again, I think this is a common thrust throughout middle of America that communities are trying to save the downtown business area, and certainly many of them are expending a lot of resources to do that, and any little bit of help that we can give them certainly is an improvement to help with that.
Okay, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Plouffe.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved. Anything further from finance?
Another area that we will talk about in the future is we had a presentation from a regional economic development group about joining, and a group similar to IVAC. We'll have further discussions on if that's in the city's best interest to join that. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll move on to public services. Alderman Waldorf, Chairman of Public Services.
Yes, sir. We have a couple of electric reports. Alderman Lukosius, please.
Yes, first I have the electric financial report for March of 2015, and during this period we showed revenues under expenses in the amount of $135,179.45. I'd like to make a motion we accept this report, place it on file.
Second.
A motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive electric report, place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I have the operations report for the electric department for March of 2015. During this period, total kilowatt hours sold amounted to charges of $1,868,732.54, and we avoided purchasing power due to the hydro generation in the amount of $95,539.83. I'd like to make a motion that we accept this report, place it on file.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosha, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive electric department report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I have the City of Peru Water Financial Report for the period ending March 2015. This report shows revenues over expenditures in the amount of $46,423.07. I would like to make a motion to receive this report and place it on file.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Waller, second by Alderman Lukosha, to receive the water financial report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I have the City of Peru Water and Wastewater Treatment Plants Report for the period ending March 2015. Our total water produced was 81.142 million gallons. At our wastewater treatment plants, our east plant treated 96.7 million gallons. The west plant treated 35.9 million gallons. I would like to make a motion to receive this report and place it on file.
Have a motion by Alderman Waller, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the water wastewater report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
I do have the Public Services Monthly Report for March 2015. I will make a motion that we receive that report and place it on file.
Have a motion by Alderman Waller, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive Public Services Report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Waldorf, to award Peoria Street reconstruction to Opperman Construction for $1,143,067.80. Is there any discussion?
Eric, can you give us a quick rundown of what the scope of the project is?
Yeah, so this project is actually going to be a total reconstruction of Peoria Street. We'll be starting half block south of Shooting Park Road, extending all the way to 9th Street. We're working with the contractor right now. We'll have a pre-construction meeting probably within the next week to discuss the staging of the project. It'll be replacement of water, some storm sewer, full width curb and gutter and pavement. Pavement will be concrete pavement. Do some sidewalk work as well. Improving the guardrail over the creek there just south of 13th. It's going to be a really nice project for the city.
Eric, as we do these large projects like this, we're replacing our infrastructure underneath as well. You want to just address that a little bit because people wonder how we are replacing.
Yeah, that was a concern of mine when I first came on, was to address how we were attacking these projects and how our money was spent. Although it is nice to often put a nice coat on the top and it looks good, we do have some aging water main and some aging sewer. So now we're starting to tighten up some of our projects, looking at the sub-base, looking at those utilities, replacing those completely. You'll see us starting to do more full reconstruction projects rather than, the typical mill and overlays.
Again, this is a concrete coating on the top.
This is a total reconstruction, so the pavement that's existing is going to be removed. With that removal, we'll put in a new base course, which is the aggregate base. I think it's 6 to 7 inches thick. And then we've got an 8-inch concrete pavement going on top of that. So what's currently existing there is going to be removed in its entirety.
What's the lifetime on a road built in this fashion?
A road like this, you're looking probably 25 to 30 years. And at that point, it may just be minor patching or it could be an overlay. But the lifespan on a concrete road like this is significantly more than you would see on the asphalt.
Where do you think this will be started, Eric?
I anticipate, once we award, we'll get the contracts in place. There's going to be some material certifications up front and some ordering of materials by the contractor. You're probably looking within 30 days. Yeah, so that's also part of the contract, responsibility of the contractor, and as you know, our new public services technician, he's going to be full-time construction observation on this job, so we'll keep everybody well informed through the whole process.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay, then I know I always say this, but this is $1.1 million. We're going to pay for it? How?
Justin, can I get in on that a little bit as well?
We know the answer, but Justin's going to reaffirm it.
Yeah. I worked with Justin on the budget, and we originally budgeted $800,000 for Peoria Street, and then we had a buffer built in there of $200,000 roughly for water main replacements. Like I said, we wanted to address the aging issue with the subsurface infrastructure. Now, with that, I also built into the contract a provision that allows us to reduce the project by up to 35%. The way that we're going to phase this project, we'll keep a very close eye on the budget. If we feel like we're getting close, we may not go as far as 9th, it may be 10th. And then what will happen is 9th will fall into the next phase of Peoria Street. So it's going to be an operation by myself, the technician, you know, monthly updates with the estimates. We're going to keep a really close eye on this.
Justin?
Yeah, they're well stated. We have $800,000 budgeted in the general fund for it, but we also have part of this construction project is going to be water fund money that comes from that. So there's going to be a breakout. Eric and I will get together and figure out exactly what that is, but we should be pretty close to exactly what we budgeted for when it's all said and done, with the buffer ability to cut out, like Eric said.
Well, our main concern is, and we already know the answer to that, but our main concern is that we're not bonding any money. We're not placing any burden on taxpayers. We're writing a check because we're preparing for this in the future. So
yeah,
that's great, because there's another job here that we have the same question for. How are we going to pay for it? And it's all going to be the same thing. We're going to end up writing a check. That's a great thing to be able to say. You have almost $1.6 million on today's agenda, and there's more coming that we'll be writing checks for. And that we couldn't do that a few years ago, but we can now. So once again, it'll be major reconstruction of Peoria Street, and we'll be writing a check for it. Once they're finished, they'll be paid, and it'll be done. That's great. Is there any other comments? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to award the 2015 General Street Program to the lowest bidder, Len Trevero Construction, in the amount of $403,926.60.
We have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Mueller, to award the 2015 General Street Program lowest bidder, Len Trevero Construction, in the amount of $403,926.60. Is there any discussion?
Eric, you want to give us an update on that, please?
Yes, this is our annual general fund program, which is the ward work for the streets, where we go out and address aging streets, surfaces where we can't do the full reconstruction jobs right now, so we do have to do some, we'll call it patchwork, to get us through until such a time that funds are available. I drove 62.8 miles in the city of Peru, so I saw every single street. I went through and rated the streets. We came up with a new way of kind of addressing how we're going to attack this and become most efficient and hopefully catch up with the aging streets here shortly. So that's what encompasses this job. And another note on this is a job that, you know, we kept 100% in-house. I put the program together, did the engineering, the documents, and we'll also inspect this job as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? We'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'll make a motion to award the 2015 Motor Fuel Tax Street Program to the lowest bidder, Advanced Asphalt, in the amount of $250,865.25.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius, to award 2015 MFT to the lowest bidder, which turns out in today's opening was Advanced Asphalt. Is there any discussion?
Here.
Again, this is our annual MFT program. You'll see in the budget, Justin and I got together, we had budgeted $300,000 for this project, so we're under the budgeted amount, which that money will then roll into next year's program. This location, we're going to work with Wenzel Road, just east of 251 to just east of Marquette Street, the intersection there. It's a good location currently because, as you know, the construction that's going on with 251, we recently repaved Shooting Park Road. Next year, we're going to look to also address another major thoroughfare up there. So eventually here, you're going to have Peoria Street completed, Shooting Park Road, Route 6 was done a few years ago, US 251. I mean, it's going to be, all your main roads are going to be in really good shape and near brand new. So it's a good project.
Very good.
Well, it looks like tonight we'll be approving over $2 million then in street repairs.
That's correct. You're looking at, roughly $2 million here. And while we're on the topic of, infrastructure improvements, what we discussed earlier in all the ordinances we went through, I guess I have to extend my thanks to the council in allowing me to kind of get involved so early on in the Northern White Sand and Illinois Rail project and kind of share my thoughts with everybody and directive there. We're going to have another nearly $3 million in improvements there. So all in all, tonight, I mean, you're looking at almost $5 to $6 million in infrastructure improvements that we're approving.
I don't think that there's any doubt that you yourself have become an asset to the city and your department. You're doing a lot of in-house stuff, and we've got eyes from the city of Peru directly on some of these projects.
I appreciate that, and I know in the short time leading up to that, the level of comfort maybe is often not there, but that's why I say I really appreciate the opportunity in this first year, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yes, having been a part of those meetings, I thought it was very beneficial to have you in there because so many times there's questions asked on the cost of extension of this or that, and it's certainly nice to have somebody with the knowledge that can give you that information immediately.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and it's commendable to everybody, and especially Attorney Schweigert for all his work on that project. As we know, that was near 7 months, Doug, I think, since we started. So, like Doug said earlier, a lot of meetings, but here we're at the end of the road, and tonight, like I said, you're looking at $6 million infrastructure improvements, roughly somewhere in that neighborhood, and what do we say? $2 million of it we're writing a check for, and the rest of it we're not paying for. So, I mean, it
sounds pretty good to me.
It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, John Duncan was right on that. We really, they ended up giving us everything we asked for to begin with. There really wasn't much in negotiations. There was an awful lot of language changes, but we held our ground on that. One thing I find significant in the bids, on Peoria Street there were 4 bidders, which made it competitive. But the other thing is very interesting, on the general improvements and on the motor fuel tax, Trevero won one, and Advanced Asphalt won the other. Frankly, if you look at that, historically it was Trevero in both Peru and LaSalle, and sometimes wondered if there was a courtesy bid, but I think that's significant. That appears to be a pretty competitive bid.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. We'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve an updated quote from Cloud Point Geographics for GIS equipment in the amount of $21,043.71. This is the GIS equipment that was originally approved on the council floor when Sean Mikas was the city engineer for a short time, and we talked about instituting the GIS system. In the time that followed after Sean left, this did not get ordered, and now, after a couple of years, the prices went from $18,000 and some change to $21,000 and some change. So we wanted to approve that again in the name of transparency. So Eric, do you have anything to add?
No, you pretty much hit all the main points of it. And a reason for the increase is not only the time, but as you know, changing technology, the units become much better, often more expensive. So we have a very similar unit, but just higher quality than what was originally quoted 2 years ago. So there were some additions made to that unit, not by myself, by the company. So I asked for an updated quote, and that is what it came back at.
Very good, thank you.
I'll second the motion, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Waller, second by Alderman Mueller, to approve the updated quote from CloudPoint Geographics for GIS equipment. Is there any further discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari. Aye. Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Finally, Your Honor, we have a motion to receive and place on file the water and sewer acreage and impact fee effective May 1st, 2015. I'd like to make a motion to receive that.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to receive and place on file water and acreage fee impact fees. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Anything further from Public Services?
That is all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? New business. Do we have any new business? The only thing I would like to mention, when we have our committee of a whole meetings that we've been having quite a few of, we'll towards the end, around 7:15 or so, we'll just have open discussion with anybody who's here. You know, anybody in the audience that's here that wants to talk, completely informal. We can go out and sit in the audience, whatever, and just talk. And if there's questions that we don't have answers for, we'll find answers like we do all the time anyway. But it'll just be completely informal and try and promote any questions that anyone may have. So we'll try and do that towards the end of the committee of a whole and try and, you know, ask for more participation from the public. Any other new business? There's no proclamations, petitions, communications.
Yes, Your Honor. First, I have a communication from James Benarelli requesting a variance for the property located at 1913 West Street.
Do I have a motion to receive communication, place on file, and turn it over to Planning and Zoning?
It'd just be Zoning Board of Appeals.
Over to Zoning Board of Appeals for review and recommendation. The motion was from Alderman Wallach, and second by Alderman Radke. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried.
Next, I have a communication from Rachel Donahoe, Children's Director for Crossbridge Community Church of the Nazarene, requesting permission to hold a walking event at Baker Lake June 28th.
I'll make a motion to accept communication and grant permission as long as there are no conflicts.
There are no conflicts.
I have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Payton, to receive the communication, place on file, grant permission. There is no conflict of dates.
Correct.
Okay, is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried.
I have a communication from the Waltham Boys Troop Scout, Boys Scout Troop 797, requesting permission to canoe at Baker Lake the evening of Friday, May 15th. No camp overnight, in conjunction with the Better Fishing Association's Expo on May 16th. And I think they've done this before.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. They've done this ever since day one. It's kind of a security for everything that's set up for them that evening, too.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the communication from Walton Boy Scout Troop 797 for Baker Lake the evening of May 15th, which will lead into the Better Fishing Association Fishing Expo on May 16th. Is there any discussion?
Do they canoe on the lake?
They have been.
Have they?
I think they get their canoeing merit badge from that event.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we have the proper safety required for that, because quite obviously, I mean, I've seen some experiences of camps who've lent out waterfronts and, you know, with accidents happening, and all of a sudden they're played into the lawsuit. So if there's something we can do with the fire department or somebody to make sure that the event's safe and supervised, or at least contact our insurance carrier to see what they need to provide us with the adequate protection.
Their safety procedure, their safety ideas for the canoeing.
If we can, check with our insurance carrier.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, we'll, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Any further petitions, communications?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Any public comment at this time? Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session. Meetings where the purchase or lease of real property for the use of public body is being considered, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired or where the public body is considering the setting of a price for sale or lease of its property. Number two, meetings held to discuss litigation when action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular body has been filed and is pending in a court or administrative tribunal. Number three, meetings to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, included the public body's legal counsel, or to hear testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee to determine its validity. Number four, collective negotiating matters between public employers and their employees or representatives. And number five, meetings of the municipality operating as a municipal utility, power, or natural gas agency to discuss contracts for the purchase, sale, or delivery of electricity or natural gas and the results of the load forecast study. So do I have a motion for all of these to go into executive session?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Kosha, second by Alderman Radke to go to retire from open meeting and go into closed session for the aforementioned reasons. We'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff. Aye. Ferrari. Aye. Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius. Radke. Aye. Mueller. Aye. Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved. We'll go over, Eric, we'll go over, okay, we'll go across the hall.
Like a motion to reopen the regular meeting. Motion made by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf at 9:53. Alderman Putoff. Here. Ferrari. Here. Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Here. Mueller. Sapienza. Payton. We are back in regular session.
Okay, is there anything further? Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
A motion by Alderman Payton, second by Alderman Ferrari. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. All opposed, meeting adjourned.